Offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt was asked if the Browns have accomplished what they wanted to so far in Deshaun Watson's starts this season.
We're close. I think we're close. I think he'd be the first to tell you some of the footwork and the rhythm and the timing, and we're not 100% there yet, but we've gotten a lot better since we started, for sure. Really impressed with his improvement each week. Kind of knew that going in. It was going to be a little rough early to start until he got his football legs back, and now you're seeing what we're expecting from him moving forward.
Let's welcome in Ashley Bastock, Browns beat reporter for the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. Ashley, when you watch Deshaun Watson, what kind of steps jumps out as it's progressed from week to week?
Yeah, I think it's really just connecting with his pass catchers a lot more. That's one thing. And especially like from a footwork standpoint, early on, especially in that Houston game, when I watched it back, and I was, of course, talking to our film guy at cleveland.com, Lance Riesland, and the one thing we noticed was overstriding, which a lot of times can cause your throws to be off if your stance is too far apart when you're throwing the ball. Haven't really seen as much of those footwork issues from him. So I think that's gone a long way, but I think it's just getting more game reps in with guys like Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, and just getting used to the speed of playing football again. I think he talked about that was, one of the biggest things that he struggled with, because you can't really replicate that when you're not playing. So I think overall it's the combination of these incremental improvements with his footwork and just developing a rhythm with his pass catchers.
There were a couple of instances in the second half of the game against the Commanders where defensive linemen were hitting him up high and not able to tackle him. That was kind of eye-opening. And then it looked effortless. The offense looked like he had command of it, really, for the first extended period. Do you agree, or am I reading way too much into that?
Yeah, I think like there is this delicate balance of not reading too much into one game, especially, people are like, oh, the Commanders are bad. Like the Commanders had one of the best, or scariest defensive fronts the Browns offense has had to play this year. So let's kind of dispel that rumor, even though they made some questionable decisions, I think, in that game, particularly with Carson Wentz. Their defense has definitely been one of the stronger points of this team. With that being said, I do think we did kind of see this offense, and we've seen it in spurts a little bit before this, I think, get going in this balance between getting Nick Chubb going and then Deshaun Watson getting to his pass catchers. But I do think that this offense, you're seeing flashes of what it could look like once they're able to put it all together over a longer period of time, when Deshaun Watson has more than 6 games to kind of get into it. But I definitely think it's really important for an offense like this, given the pieces that they have, to say, hey, we now have maybe one of the best arms in the NFL in Deshaun Watson, but we were also a team before this and currently that is still largely built to run the ball. So I think they did a good job of getting Nick Chubb involved, especially given his ability, this offensive line's ability. And I think overall that just, if everyone is going on all cylinders, that opens the offense up, because defenses have to kind of pick what to stop.